Greetings, my name is JB from Magus. We are currently in the forest, approximately 35 kilometers outside of Stockholm, Sweden. And it's a Sunday midday. Spring is approaching, you can tell from the sounds that the birds make, but it's still quite cold. And there's a few flakes of snow in the air as well. I'm here to talk to you about what's become our 8th full-length album, Sword Songs. It's going to be out in May 2016, and I'm going to give you a rundown of some of the themes of the songs and the lyrics, and maybe some other interesting information as well. So join me.
Her name brings out desire, wills in the dark. She like the spark.
Now, there were two kind of gods in the Scandinavian tradition. There were the Vanir and the Asir, and they've been fighting for power for a very, very long time, and no one was winning, so they decided to make a truce. And to make sure that the truce was honored, they exchanged a few individuals, so that a few of the Vanir came to the Asir and became Asir, and a few of the Asir became Vanir. And one of the Vanir that became Asir was Freya. And of course, Freya was, she's kind of known for being like the goddess of love and everything, but she was also a very powerful magician, sorceress, and she was actually the one who taught Odin everything about the Seid magic, which was a very powerful magic that enabled one to transform things and stuff like that. So Freya's choice is about Freya. It's also about her capacity as a goddess of the slain. She was the one who carried, with her Valkyries, who carried the dead heroes to Valhalla.
Charge to the storm, swords in our hands. Leave it to fate, or fear takes command. Into the fray, we die and we stay. Our home.
There were Vikings and people from, they were called the Rus, and from Eastern Europe, but Scandinavian Vikings who were hired as like an elite bodyguard or elite guard by the Byzantine emperors from like 10 to maybe 1300s or something like that. And they were an elite guard. They were hired, to kill or protect for money, but and they to fulfill this task was the highest honor, but they were essentially hired because of the renown of the Viking warriors. They had quite a fearsome reputation, and for them, it was an opportunity to make quite a lot of money, because the Byzantine Empire was very, very rich.
Viking metal, bring it to your knees. Viking metal, a warrior's decree. Viking metal.
Okay, forged in iron, crowned in steel. This song, the lyrics and the song was inspired by, it's actually a technical invention, namely the Ulfberth swords. These swords were made in a different process than the ordinary Viking swords at the time. It was something akin to crucible steel, which meant that you had you forged them under the temperature was a lot higher, which meant that you could burn away a much higher degree of carbon. Carbon makes steel brittle, and the less carbon you have in the steel, the more flexible it is. So these Ulfberth swords, I think they found around 170 of them, mostly in Norway. But they weren't made in Norway necessarily, but they were the result of trade with the Frankish Reich, I think, down in the middle south of what's Europe today. The Frankish Empire was they had a lot of trade business and stuff with the Scandinavian Vikings. But anyway, the Ulfberth sword was the top shelf of weaponry at the time, and the Vikings, they were on an intense quest to find these swords, because with a sword like that, you could dominate basically any kind of battle situation at that time. So that was the sword of power, and that was the key to victory.
Born for battle, I heard the calling, hated and scorned.
This is about an actual, person. He was called Bertrand de Guesclin, and he was known as the Black Dog of Brocéliande. I saw a documentary about this guy. This was during the 100 Years' War, and he was one of the most successful generals during that war. Not the whole 100 years, of course, but I think he lived to be 60 or something, which is quite impressive for someone who spent pretty much every day of his life in the battlefield. But he was fighting for the French during the 100 Years' War, and he was quite ugly, quite short, quite fat. But ever since he was a child, everyone, he was a terrible child apparently, and extremely violent from day one. And everyone just considered him to be someone who was born for battle, and that was the only thing he was good at, but he was extremely good at that. So this song is about him, basically. Born for battle, the Black Dog of Brocéliande.